All right. Good evening. Attention all stations. Good evening and welcome. Bonsoir tout le monde et bienvenue. This is Victor Alpha 3 Charlie Juliet Zulu opening the Amateur Radio Exchange Group Net. Tonight is the 31-year anniversary, or as we call it, week 1617. It is the longest running Simplex Net in the Hamilton area. Congratulations to everyone who has supported this net over the years, and I hope we have many more years together. My name is Chuck, and my station is located in East Hamilton. And this net is on every Wednesday night, starting at 8 p.m. local time and ending around 10 p.m. here on 146.430 megahertz. And since this is a simplex net, I also stream the net on YouTube. Not everyone can hear everyone else. Sometimes some people are using a handheld, and so this way you can hear what I can hear here at my station. So just go to YouTube, put in VA3CJZ, and you can look for us live or tonight. The title is AREG 31 year anniversary. And finally, we ask that you please leave a 1 second delay at least between transmissions to allow others to check in or break in. And with that, do we have any time sensitive mobile or portable stations that would like to check in now? Please come. Okay, I'm not hearing anything. Let's open the net to anyone and everyone who has a valid license. This is VA3CJZ.
VA3 AXJ.
VA3 Whiskey Papa Golf.
VA3 MCA.
Okay, I guess we'll start with three stations there: AXJ, WPG, and NCA. Let's bring in number one, Rick, downtown Rick. Come on in, Rick. You're number one.
Number one, eh? Number one. Oh well. I wouldn't mind being number two or three, but I'll take it. I'll take number one any day of the week. So how's it going? I missed last week again, as usual. But pulling up my tomato plants today, I thought I was going to. I left a few branches up and turned the wrong way, and well, that ended that. I went and laid down. Back to you.
Oh yeah, a little tweaked, a little something there, Rick. Yeah, it doesn't take much. I remember a guy at when I was at ED Smith. He worked in the maintenance shop, and he mostly had a desk job, right? So he drops his pencil on the floor and bends over to pick it up, and he gets locked up. He can't he can't straighten up, and so they had to stuff him into a truck and take him to the hospital, all over a pencil.
Yeah, it's funny how that happens, eh? My kid's going to come down tomorrow and pretty well basically probably do it. But I got my shots yesterday, and I felt great this morning. Got up, felt good. Thought I was going to do some work, and well, you think you can do it, and you go out there and you start, and then the next thing you know, I was out there maybe 15, 20 minutes, and then that was the end of that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, at least your shots are up to date, just like the dog and cats, right?
Yeah, I'm going to start growing hair and stuff. I used to work at E.D. Smith. I used to deliver the tomatoes in the truck, and I had a roll-off on the trailer, and the guy that loaded me didn't put the box on the slide on the rollers, eh? So I backed up into the dock there, open the back doors and all that stuff first, and then backed in. Hit the dock a little too hard, and people just started running for their lives because all these big crates of tomatoes were just coming off like crazy. I got canned for
that. All right. Well, very good then. Okay, Rick, I'll probably get back around to you there before the end of the net, where I have things I have planned, but you never know what's going to happen. So, anyways, Rick, thanks for checking in, and I noticed Chris along with Wayne B checked in on YouTube, as well as Wade, and Wade is coming up here shortly on the list. But thank you all for coming in on YouTube and saying hello on our 31-year anniversary of the AREG net. And so that would be VE3RWJ and VA3 Fox Mike Bravo. Thank you so much. And for now, let's go say hello to Chris. Victor Alpha 3, Whiskey Papa Golf.
Okay, 3WPG, just tidying up a little bit here and dropping a quick check-in. Nothing really much to say right now, just getting my check-in early here, and we'll be listening along to the net over here, just doing some housework or apartment work in the background.
All right, very good. Well, thanks for listening in and for checking in, of course. And I hope everything's going well with making contacts on HF and all that. Your station doing okay?
Oh yeah, it's doing good. I got distracted, so I actually haven't had the HF on since Monday. Stuff's rolling, slowly starting to come into the mail for the POTA station, and just slowly getting that set up now.
All right, very good. Well, good luck with that. I have plans also I want to do now that the weather's going to warm up again for us, but not too badly. I understand. I think we might get a humidex of 32 for the next 5 or 6 days or so. Yeah, got to get stuff done before the weather gets cold. Okay, Chris, thanks for checking in, my friend. If you have anything else, just break in again.
All right, VA3, WPG, back to the net.
Okay, that brings us to Wade in Dundas, Victor Alpha 3, November Charlie Alpha.
VA3 CJZ, VA3 MCA. Good evening, Chuck. Good evening, everybody on net, and happy anniversary. Quite an accomplishment to have a net that's run continuously for 31 years. Very good, and thanks so much for carrying on the tradition. Let's see. Not much. It's been busy at work lately, so not much time for radio. But what I did today was start to lay out maybe how I want to put some stuff into a POTA bag for drive-up POTAs. So this is the 100 rig that sits on my desk right now, but I'm thinking of a musician's gig bag style thing that I have. Loading it up with the shack computer, so it could sit here on the shelf when I'm at home, but it could just as easily be loaded in the car for a drive-up POTA on days that I'm not carrying a little portable one. Anyways, long story medium is that I'm had the parts for a while, and today I got down to see how I wanted to modify the bag to better accommodate the new battery and the 100-watt IC7100 and related bits and pieces. So that was my radio work for the day so far anyways. So anyways, hopefully we'll get lots of people coming in to celebrate this momentous occasion, and so I will say thanks and congratulations again and send it back to you at VHNCA.
Okay, very good, Wade. Well, yes, I first of all, I wonder how many people in Hamilton bought those batteries that we were all talking about, and or the chargers. Be curious to find out. I understand Bill is trying to find something that has rigid sides so that he can put it in his backpack and not have his backpack uh, wilt over, if you know what I mean. Something rigid there that will help keep it straight. I hope he's found something for that. And yeah, very good then. Yep, everybody's getting their kits ready. And so, very good, Wade. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention in the intro, I didn't want to make my intro too long, but yes, the AREG net began 31 years ago, back in 1993, and that was founded by John Sims, VE3JSU. And I have not had contact with John in some time. I've been doing the net since, well, it was 6 years ago this Sunday that I took over the net and took over for John while he is retired and living up north in Manitouwadge, Ontario. So I hope he's doing well. You know what they say sometimes, no news is good news. So, anyways, yeah, a very momentous occasion. And I do thank you for checking in with us there, Wade. Anything else?
No, not at this stage, but I will listen along for the duration. Yeah, thanks goes out to John as well, and hopefully he is doing well, I'm sure. Yeah, maybe there's been a full battery bump by the Hamilton POTA operators down here. I know of at least, 3 or 4 of us got them anyway. So, yeah, anyhow, send it back to you, and we'll see who else is down the log. VH3NCA, back to you.
Okay, Wade, thanks again. And so, with that, let's see who else is out there would like to check in with us here on the 31-year anniversary of the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. My call is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu, and my name is Chuck, and I'm located here by the Center Mall in East Hamilton. Anyone, anywhere, please come now.
V3 Bravo Kilowatt. Quebec. Anniversaire. VA3 VT. VE3 RWJ.
Okay, so I got VE3BK, but he doubled with someone there. Was that Mike?
Yeah, it was, Chuck. VE3 KMQ.
Okay, very good. KMQ. We got Albert, VA3BT, and who did I miss?
VA3 IMW. Sounds like I doubled with a couple of guys. VE3 RWJ.
Okay, we got it that time. We got 5 of you there. BK, KMQ, Bravo Tango, India Mike Whiskey, and RWJ. Let's go and say hello to Rick, VE3 Bravo Kilowatt.
Hello, everybody on frequency, and what number did you say it was again, Chuck?
31 years. The year is 1993. Do you remember where you were?
1993. Yeah, I thought it was 31 years, but I forgot there. Anyway, congratulations on 31 years that the net's been running, and hello to everybody, and I want to thank Wade there. He checked in on Monday night. He was the last check-in on 40 meters. So, and we talked to Mark already up north, and Mark is around the fireplace, and he's on a lake, one of 5 lakes there, in Spanish Ontario, and anyway, he has poor cell coverage there. So he says if you move a foot one way or the other, you lose your signal for on the telephone. So, but anyway, he came through here really good on 40 meters. So, but anyway, he's gone around the fireplace that I'm being. So again, congratulations, and looks like you got lots of check-ins there, Chuck. So carry on, V3VK.
Yeah, very good, Rick. I know, like I mentioned before there, I heard Mark and a few other stations there last night, but I was quite busy doing something, but I was listening. And so, yeah, everybody was coming in good. And RPAD was also on last night on 80 meters on 3650, I believe it was, 3.650. And I had a bit of a hard time hearing him, but there's always the web SDR you can turn on just to help you a little bit. It's not like you're using it for getting DX or contests, stuff like that. So a little bit of help, I don't think it's wrong to use a little bit of help there. But yeah, RPAD is in the Thunder Bay area, and he still is telling us he's not sure where he's going to go, but I have a funny feeling he's going to cross back into the U.S. there once that cold weather gives him a taste of reality. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with him. Anyhow, Rick, great signal. Of course, you're full scale over here, and nice loud audio. Anything else?
Oh, that's it. I talked to RPAD too. I think he said he was 25 miles south of Thunder Bay, something like that. Yeah. So anyway, but I forgot that. Yeah, he comes on about 10 o'clock. I think on 3650. Am I right on that?
Yeah, I don't know if it's every night, but I think I did hear him last night and Monday. So I don't think he has much much to do out by himself in the wilderness. So yeah, check him out tonight at 10 o'clock after this net on 3.650. Okay, Rick, thanks again. We'll talk to you in a little bit. So let's move down to Mike, Victor Echo 3, Kilo Mike, Quebec.
Yeah, VA3 CJZ, VE3 KMQ. Good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on the net this evening. Hope everybody's doing well. And yeah, congratulations on 31 years for the operation of this net, and also to you, 6 years, I think you said, as of this Sunday for
Every week.
Yourself as net controller here. So that's certainly worth noting. Not an awful lot going on with me, just a little bit of this and that around the house, and always fun playing radio. And yeah, so just a check-in, and I'll swing it back to you, VE3 KMQ.
All right, very good there, Mike. You're coming in full scale tonight. Great signal and great audio. I just recently, over the last couple of days, I've been realigning my S meter on this radio, and I think I'm happy with it. But I'm going to monitor the situation. So anyhow, yeah, thank you, Mike, for checking in as you do when you have time, and I trust everything is going well with you. What was I going to say? Yeah, another week of warm weather, and then we probably will dip into some cooler temperatures. Leaves should start turning a little bit anytime now, and they probably have up north in Algonquin Park, I would imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. It's getting to be that time of the year. Probably in about a week, maybe 10 days, I'm going to head up to Collingwood. I'm going to take my portable gear and plunk my multi-band antenna vertical into a park and enjoy some portable operation. Now, mind you, it's not POTA. I've just typically operated for the pleasure of it. Of course, POTA is that as well. but just local municipal parks, enjoying the scenery. It's very beautiful up there, as I'm sure you know, along Georgian Bay, and I think it's Sunset Park is quite nice up there. So I'm gonna do that probably not this weekend, probably next weekend. So that's what I'm looking forward to, at least at this point. With that, I'll pass along 73 to you, Chuck, and we'll look for you next time. VA3CJZ, VE3KMQ.
Okay, Mike, we'll probably hear you on the weekend. There is another VHF contest, the September VHF contest. I don't know if you'll participate or not, but you're usually around to give us a few points there. Over.
Yeah, absolutely. I am aware of the contest, and while I don't participate in it heavily, I do monitor, and as you say, I like to throw out my call to give somebody some points there. Hopefully that works for them.
Yep, absolutely. And also, don't forget the Worked All Europe, the WAE contest is also on this weekend, and those should be two pretty good contests there. So anyhow, Mike, have a great rest of the evening. Thank you so much for joining us here on our 31-year anniversary, and look forward to catching you down the lock. Anything else, Mike?
No, that should be it at this point, Chuck. Thanks for doing the net as always, and we'll look for you next time. VE3KMQ.
Okay, very good, Mike. And so let's go to Albert next. Victor Alpha 3, Bravo Tango. I think I got it right this time, Al.
You got it this time there, Chuck. VA3VT, good evening, everyone. Nothing really to report, just a general check-in. Congrats on the 31 years there running. That's a long time for this net. But yeah, no, good stuff, good show. But other than that, just a general check-in there, Chuck. I'll be listening along. VA3VT.
Okay, Albert. I don't know when are you going to be moving into a building there? I don't know how much you've got constructed. Whereabouts are you now? You're in Brampton again?
No, I'm in working in Oakville, Dorval, in the Dorval area.
Oh, okay. So when do you figure you're going to be indoors?
Well, I'm kind of hoping I'd be indoors this winter. It kind of looks that way right now. We got some tenant fit up work coming up this winter, so that's a good thing. We'll be indoors, so we won't be breaking any ground this winter.
Ah, okay. Very good then. All right. Well, thanks for filling me in on that. And yeah, also fall camping is coming up for you as well. So I wish you well with that. But I'm sure I'll talk to you in between. So thanks again for checking in, Albert. Much appreciated, sir. And so now let's move over to VA3 IMW. Mac, come on in.
Good evening, Chuck. I'm trying to compile the Coles Notes version. So first of all, congratulations on the 31st anniversary. Here's to another 31 years. Looking forward to it. Anyways, not to detract from the celebration of our 31st anniversary of AREG, we're also mindful that this is the 23rd anniversary of the terrorist attack on the United States, the auspicious 9/11. So I was listening to the GM, what do they call it, Whiskey 8 GM repeater this morning as I drove to work, and they had the net dedicated for remembering where you were on that day back in history. So I'm sure that's probably in the lineup of on this day, but just want to give equal time to a memory that none of us will be able to ever forget. Anyways, your radio sounded mighty fine there, Chuck. 20 over S9 up the hill. Great job there. And obviously, I want to remind everybody about the upcoming event here on Sunday. on behalf of VE3HPO, the Hamilton POTA Operators Group, getting together at Dundurn Castle September 15th, somewhere after 9:30 in the morning, get together for coffee, eyeball QSO, and do a mass activation of the park down there. I think that's the Coles Notes version, and if you have any other questions, feel free to ask. And yes, you're absolutely right. Wade has certainly sparked an interest in 24 amp hour LiPo batteries and chargers to go along with them. So I'm not too sure what kind of commission he's getting on the deals, but somebody's making out like a banshee. Back to you, Chuck.
All right. That's a little bit of information there. And yes, you're absolutely right. But I did want to put a somber note on my opening monologue with reminding everyone that it was such a great day. But in fact, in 2001, there was the September 11th terrorist attack that you had just mentioned. And Canada played a big part in helping out stranded Americans in Newfoundland and other areas, maybe in British Columbia, because international flights that were in the air at the time, when they closed the airspace, they had to have somewhere to go, and Canada was kind enough to take these people in and house them in their own personal homes for several days until they could make their way back. So that was very nice. So as Canadians, we're so nice. And yes, Sunday morning, 9:30, Dundurn Castle, the western part of the parking lot for a meet and greet and mass activation. Looking forward to it, Mac. Anything else? Did I forget anything?
Oh, just the big check mark for the LiPo batteries. But yeah, Wade can share later on how much commission he's making on his recommendations.
Absolutely. Okay, Mac, thank you so much for your check-in. We'll get back to you in a bit. Let's move over to Chris, VE3RWJ. Thanks for waiting, Chris.
No problem, Chuck. And congratulations on 31 years. I think this net's been in operation, well, longer than I've been a ham, because I took a bunch of years off and got back into it in 2019. So anyway, hope it's around for another 31 years. Who knows what bands and modes will be doing by then. Maybe we'll all have an AI self that'll be doing all the talking. I don't know. Hard to imagine. I don't have anything to add other than looking forward to the VHF contest this weekend, and I'll be able to get you on both bands this time around, Chuck, because you got that radio realigned. So we're hearing you consistently over on 70 centimeters. Back to you, V3RWJ.
Yes, absolutely. She's working like a charm. And you're doing pretty good over here. I don't know if it's my calibration of the S meter, but I've got you full scale here on 2 meters. And so, and the audio's sweet. I like it. And what else was I going to say? Yeah, so John, VE3JSU, who started this net, was in Dundas at the time. And so that's not too far away from your location. And yeah, once a week for 25 years for John. As I said, I've taken over now for just over 6 years. Back in July was my 6-year anniversary. And so, yeah, having lots of fun. You never know down the further down. We might even have a half-hour portion where people maybe talk or practice their CW and whatnot. Who knows? I like to keep things fresh and change things up, and so we'll see. I know a lot of guys are getting into the CW aspect. now. And so that's all new and exciting for a lot of people. And yes, the Burlington Amateur Radio Club is putting on a course to become a licensed amateur radio operator, and that began tonight, if I'm not mistaken, at 8 o'clock. I overheard someone say, or 7:30. I'm not sure, somewhere around there. But tonight was the starting night for that. So I hope everybody makes it through that with flying colors.
Yeah, we have 40 people in the class this time, so the education team is going to be very busy over the next 8 weeks or so. That's a lot of work, but we keep getting people interested and cranking out new hams.
Wow.
I don't have much else to add other than when I was originally a ham in living in Brantford, I didn't know about this net, but anyway, glad to be joining it later on, and thanks for doing it. Thanks for keeping it interesting and very casual and friendly. And I'm just listening to myself in the background on the stream and getting all distracted. Back to you. I'm just going to listen. V3RWJ.
Okay, Chris, very good. Yes, it can be distracting to listen to the radio as well as watch the live stream. And just think of me, I have to handle the YouTube and the check-ins and all the other fun stuff I've got going here. So thanks again, Chris. Much appreciated. Great signal, like I said. We'll talk to you on the weekend on the contest for sure. And so we'll clear with VE3RWJ. And now I have to add VE3IUK Bill in Dundas. He can't quite make it in over the radio yet. And Max Videodrome, also known as VE3FNI, unable to make it on the radio or by plane. But one day, Sean, we'll get you on the plane and get you on the radio in the plane, I mean. And that'll be great. I think we did a check-in once or twice before with the radio in the plane there. It's a lot of fun to make contact with an aerial radio contact. So, Sean, I hope everything is going well with you. And thanks for being with us here on the 31-year anniversary.
VE3DJZ.
All right, VE3DJZ. Just stand by one. I'm going to, okay, I did clear with Chris. Just wanted to make sure. And so VE3DJZ, you're also in the log. Come on in, Huey.
Hi, Chuck. It's been a while. I just got my new portable here. I don't know if you've seen it by Ham Geek. They made a imitation Apex 8000 walkie-talkie.
Oh, yeah. I noticed it's got a funky little Roger beep there at the end, which you probably don't need for us here tonight, but I know you like those little bells and whistles. Anyhow, Huey, from your location to the Center Mall, I've got you at an S8 here on my station there. How are things going with you?
Well, you know, doing it day by day. You know how it is, brother. Just get back on my feet. Just gonna get a place very soon. Bought a couple new radios again. Down here at Mary and James Street. That's where I am, between Mary and John. And I'm on the Simplex on this radio in a house.
Oh, well, considering all the buildings in the area there, that's pretty good, Huey.
All right, there, CJ Chuck. It's good to hear from you. It's been a while. Take care. Good job with the rig, and it's good to hear from you.
Okay, Huey, enjoy your new radios, and thanks for checking in with us here on the 31-year anniversary of the AREG net, and we'll talk to you again soon. Take care, Huey. And just thought I'd let Sean know, VE3FNI, when I entered you in the log, sir, you are number 13. So now we're looking for number 14 and beyond. This is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu. My name is Chuck, and I'm here in the east end of Hamilton looking for check-ins.
Victor Alpha 3, Oscar Yankee Lima.
Hey, Charlie Echo Uniform. 3FNI.
All right, I heard several stations there, but what I got was OYL, Charlie Echo Uniform, and Foxtrot November India. Is there anyone else?
Victor Echo 3, Quebec, Echo Echo.
All right, Marty, you were the doubling station, but I got you in there now. All right, so just stand by one and we'll say hello to Debbie. Victor Alpha 3, Oscar Yankee Lima. Come on in, Deb.
Good evening, Chuck and all on net. Happy anniversary. I know I listened to this net for a long time before I actually got on the net because I didn't have, I only had a scanner at the time when I first moved to Hamilton. And then I started jumping in there. So I can't remember how long I've been on, but it's an enjoyable net. And Chuck, you're doing a great job.
Oh, well, thank you, Debbie. Haven't heard you in a while. I trust everything's going good for you. And yeah, you've been a ham for a lot longer than I have. How long have you been a ham, Debbie?
Since 1990, I think. Yeah, about there.
Wow. You know, it's going to be a long time ago when people start saying back in 1990. Yeah. No, I was just finishing traveling. As a matter of fact, in 1993, I was working at the Royal Connaught Hotel downtown. I was the head of security for the hotel, and that's where I met my wife. And in '93, we started dating. So yeah, we'll talk about '93 a little bit later. But anyhow, Deb, thank you so much for checking in, and I hope to hear you down the log this weekend. Should be good with the contests they've got there. Worked Europe is going to be a big one.
Yes. And it sounds like the weather's going to be nice. So for people who want to get out and POTA.
Well, yes, especially on Sunday when we do the meet and greet, and Mac got his heart set on using all the available hams to do a mass activation from Dundurn Castle there. So it should be interesting on Sunday morning. If you get a chance, stop by and say hi. Haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, I'll have to see if I can do that. It's close to home, that's for sure.
Yeah, you know, even if it's to stop by, say hello, and introduce yourself to a couple of the hams, and have a coffee, and yeah, should be lots of fun. I can't stay that long. My wife needs the car to go to work, but I can certainly spend a couple of hours. Okay, Deb, thank you so much again. Anything else before I keep going down the list here?
No, I'm just busy puttering and I'll be listening along.
Okay, another listening along. Thank you, Deb. Let's say hello to Tomash in Burlington. Victor Echo 3, Charlie Echo Uniform.
Good evening, Chuck and everybody else on the net here. VE3CJZ, VE3CEU. And yeah, happy 31st anniversary. By golly, that's a long time. I've had my ticket since 95, so that makes me about 29 years I've had my ticket. And
Wow.
yeah, I got my 5 words a minute when with the CW when they had 5 words a minute for the HF. And I'm just sitting here listening along here, and I'm getting you here at full scale.
Yeah, I gave it a little bit of nitrous oxide there, Tom. I decided to go all out tonight and put it up to full strength. And you're doing pretty good yourself, 10 over S9, and good sounding audio as always. So, it makes me so envious hearing some of you guys that have had your license for decades, while I was, still in CB. I kind of wished I had become a ham a lot sooner. But, that's all in retrospect, right? All in hindsight.
Yeah, I remember the days back in the CB days when my father had a CB radio and the boots and the whole and the antenna. I remember a long time ago when we were living at the house there, we had one of those antennas there, and it was up there about 60 feet or whatever. And he says, we're going to play the dare game, and he says, he showed me the coax. He says, can you put that coax up there at the top? And I said, oh, yeah, sure, I could do it, no problem there. And I started climbing the tower, and I got near the top. He says, don't look down, look across, don't look down. But I did manage to get that coax up there and get things up and running. But, yeah, I know it was hard for me to get my ham ticket, because back in the days, you used to have to know a lot more and do a lot more stuff in order to get your ham radio ticket. But now things are a lot easier, and yeah, I like this radio that I bought, the Yaesu FT817, the portable. It's 5 watts. It's a good radio, and I'll probably have it for many years to come.
All right. Well, I sure hope you enjoy it for many years to come. And I'm only waiting until I officially retire to be able to get a bit more money in my bank account so I can accumulate some more radio equipment. But for now, we'll stick with what we have and make do. So I'm quite happy I got my radio repaired, and it seems to be working just fine. All right, Tomasz, thank you so much again for checking in. I hope you have a great rest of the week and a great weekend. And before I let you go, do you have anything else?
Nothing else to report or anything like that. I'll just be sitting here listening along for a little bit, and I won't. This will be my final check-in. So, yeah, then I'll hit the hay. So, have yourself a good evening there, Chuck, and thanks for doing it.
Okay, very good. Take care, Tomasz, and thanks again for checking in. Let's go down to VE3FNI, Sean. He says he can't hear, but he can transmit. I did hear you check in there, Sean. Come on in.
VE3FNI, VA3IMW, it's your turn.
Thanks for the relay there, Mac. FNI in Mississauga, nice to hear you, Mac. Your signal's coming in through beautiful. Please relay to the net and Chuck my congratulations on the 31st anniversary of the net. It's always fun to tune in. I know you guys don't hear me too often, but I religiously tune into the YouTube feed. Back to you, Mac, VE3FNI.
Yeah, Roger. And I'm pretty sure that Chuck's got a good ear on you tonight. You might not be able to hear him, but I'm pretty sure he's hearing you. Back to you, Chuck, if you need any of that translated into Hamilton lingo, I can help out with that, but I'm pretty sure you got a copy on that.
Absolutely there, Mac. Sean is coming in at a S9 Plus over here, so I have no trouble hearing him, but I do appreciate the effort of checking in with RF, an RF check-in, I mean, and please extend my greatest appreciation, and hopefully we could have it two ways one day. Back to you.
Seeing him right now, amazing.
There you go. Yep. Yeah. That's how RF works there, Sean. Back and forth, this way and that. Anyways, as you heard, thanks for checking in, and obviously it's great to share the anniversary. I'll send it back to Net, and I'll keep my ears open in the distance there, Chuck. Go ahead.
Direct copy.
Oh, there we go. What happened? Did you turn your squelch down there, Sean?
No, I think it was the radio gods allowing us to connect on the anniversary today. Didn't get Sky today. I got Blue Jays tickets, had a few drinks, so couldn't get in the plane to make the Net, obviously. And I'm back home, took the GO train. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, beautiful. Right on, right on. Nothing wrong with that. A few drinks after work and watching a ball game. Right on. All right, Sean. Well, thank you so much for checking in here on our 31-year anniversary. You're an S9 Plus here. I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but you're coming in quite well.
Thanks, Chuck, and thanks, Mac, VE3FNI.
All right, another one for the books. Okay, so next that leaves us with Marty, VE3 Quebec Echo Echo. Marty, come on in.
Well, thank you, Chuck, and thanks for running the Net. I used to check into this Net many years ago when John was running it, and just occasionally I would check in with the guys. Anyway, your 6th anniversary and the 31st for the Net. Congratulations on that. Fine business. Nice to keep the airways warm, and the added feature of watching you on the internet on YouTube is it makes it all really worthwhile. And I'm glad you got your radio back. It looks pretty fine there when it's on the screen. Over.
Yep, other than the tiger stripes there, I just tend to ignore that, but we'll maybe get to that another time. But for now, the power was the main thing, and we got that working well. You're coming in at an S9 over here, Marty. You did drop down a little bit there, 1 or 2 S units, but nonetheless, got a great copy on you. And I'm sorry I wasn't able to check in for the last 2 Mondays. I accidentally started a a Monday Net at 8 o'clock, or no, at 7 o'clock, the same time as your Net. And so it ran for an hour for both the last 2 Mondays. You see, what happened was it was Labor Day, and 7 o'clock rolled around, and I'm sitting here. I looked at the clock and looked at my radio, and I couldn't hear anything. Normally, there's a Net on, but it is only on Tuesday. So I thought it was Tuesday, and therefore the Net controller didn't show up, and I decided to take over and open the Net, only to find out about 10 minutes later that it was Monday and that I had made a mistake. But it was such a successful Net. We had like 18 check-ins through the radio, and so we said, all right, so let's pick up a Monday night Net then. And so I'll try and check in next Monday there, Marty. How are things with you?
Oh, things are fine. I tried checking into Net from Ottawa, and that wasn't entirely successful on the All-Star. We had a few dropouts, so someone else picked it up for me, but we're back in town, and this Monday was a good one, and a fair number of check-ins, and of course, the nice weather helps as well. Anyway, Chuck, I'll turn it back to you. Thanks for being there, and thanks for picking me up. 73 for now. VE3QEE.
Okay, very good, Marty. Thanks again, my friend, and you have a great rest of the evening. I hope your trip in Ottawa to see the grandchildren was a success. It usually is. Even though you might lose a little bit of sleep, it's it's worth it. One day you'll have all the time in the world to sleep.
Roger, 73.
Okay, 7-3. So we'll clear with VE3QEE. And let's see who else is out there would like to join us here on the 31-year anniversary of the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. My call is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu, and my name is Chuck, located here in East Hamilton. Anyone, anywhere.
VE3EIR.
All right, VE3EIR. Don, haven't heard you in a while. Come on in, Don.
Yeah, good evening, Chuck. Special occasion tonight, 31 years, and the 6th year. That's sort of a minor occasion, but it's well worth checking in. Congratulations to you, and you're doing a great job there, taking over from John. So just wanted to check in and tell you that. Back to you.
Oh, well, thank you, Don. For those of you listening, Don used to check in when John was doing the net many years ago. He's one of the originals, as they say, just like my friend Bob, VE3XKV, and a few of the other gentlemen there used to check in with John, way back in the day. Anyhow, I do appreciate it, Don. You're an S5 to my location tonight, and you're readable, no problem, sir. So thanks again. My 6 year was back in July, so tonight is about the 31 year of the AREG. So thank you again, Don. Everything okay with you?
Yeah, everything is great. Everything is great, Chuck. I had my 80 token on that. Had my 86th birthday last month.
Oh my! Congratulations, 86. You've been 86th, Don. Congratulations. Sounds like you got quite a few more years left in you there, my friend. So thanks so much for joining us.
Okay, thanks, Chuck.
All right, so we'll clear with Don. And before I do announcements, do we have any other check-ins for tonight's AREG Net? Please come now. All right, let's jump over to the contests this weekend. Like I mentioned earlier, we have the Work All Europe DX contest for sideband, which is on for 2 full days, starting at 0 Zulu on September 14th to 23:59 Zulu September 15th. And of course, that's geographic focus for Europe, but participation is worldwide. And the mode is sideband only. And the bands are 10, 15, 20, 40, and 80. Should be a lot of fun. Next, there's the FOC QSO party. I don't recall that one. It's for CW, though. And the CW starts in the VHF bands, and then 10 meter, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. Again, for CW. Then there's the SKCC Weekend Sprint. And again, that's for CW, and that's for 6 meter, 10, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160 meters. There's an FT4 contest for from Africa for 20 meters, 40, and 80. Again, for FT4 out of Africa. And then, of course, we've got the ARRL September VHF contest, and that begins at 1800 Zulu, or I believe that's 2 o'clock in the afternoon on September 14th, on Saturday, until 03 Zulu, 0300 Zulu on September 16th. And that's for all modes on 50 megahertz and up. So I look forward to hearing you all this weekend, giving us some points on VHF, UHF, and 50 meters and up. So that's pretty much it for weekend contests. If you want some more information, just open up a web browser and type in contestcalendar.com for any further information. Do we have any questions, comments, or announcements from anyone that I may have missed earlier? Please come now.
VE3 LBI.
Or how about check-ins? VE3 LBI. Larry, come on in.
I was waiting for you to say check-ins, but you didn't. I thought, I'll just check it anyways. Okay. Yep, good day. Did some running around this morning. So we got that done, and we had picked up the grandson from school, which is the first time we've done that. So that was kind of an interesting afternoon. Other than that, just another normal day, but nice and pleasant, though. It has been decent for the last couple of days, and I guess it's supposed to continue, which is going to be really nice.
Yes, I'm going to have to cut the grass tomorrow. It's been, it's been going on 3 weeks. She's getting a little thick there out front. I did the backyard last week, and it hasn't grown much. A couple of hairs here and there, but the front is going to need some attention before we get into that really warm stuff there. So right on. Very good, Larry. Do you have any announcements?
Nothing that I can think of on the weekend, and I'm sure Max already mentioned that, so looking forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're doing pretty good tonight, Larry. You're check-in number 19, along with our friends on YouTube who have joined us there. Let's see if we have any new... we've got RPAD. VE3 November Whiskey. Good evening, RPAD, and welcome. Thank you for joining us on the 31-year anniversary of the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. RPAD says he's at the Minnesota border, 26 Celsius here at the 48th parallel. Well, congratulations, RPAD. I think you're still on the Canadian side. And so we'll try and say hello to you tonight at 10 p.m. on 3.650 and 80 meters. Again, 3.650 after this net at 10 o'clock. See if you can hear RPAD and say hello. And so I hope everything's going all right with you there, RPAD. And we'll try and say hello tonight. And with that, let's see if there are any other check-ins for tonight's 31-year anniversary of the AREG. This is VA3 CJZ, looking for check-ins. All right, nothing heard. So what I wanted to do was talk a little bit about 1993, 31 years ago. As I mentioned earlier, I was working at the Royal Canad Hotel and was just starting to date, my wife now, but back then she wasn't. And let's go over a few things that happened back in 1993. And this goes by the month. So we'll start with January, and Czechoslovakia officially splits into the Czech Republic and Slovakia. So Czechoslovakia is no more. It's now Czech Republic and then a new country, Slovakia. And then we got the United States security company Brinks is robbed of $7.4 million stolen from the armored car depot in Rochester, New York. I wonder if that's the story they used in that Goodfellas movie where they rip off, I think it was an, uh, a shipment that came in by plane. I wonder if that's what they based that on. And still in January, Bill Clinton is sworn into office on January 20th of 93. And then 5 days later, 2 CIA employees are killed and 3 more injured in a shooting outside CIA headquarters in Langley. Well, let's find out what you were doing in 1993. Let's go up to Rick, VA3AXJ. Rick, are you there? Oh, yeah, that's the year Groundhog Day came out with Bill Murray. I hate that movie. And back in 1993, we had the first bombing of the World Trade Center. 6 people are killed and over 1,000 are injured when a bomb is detonated at the World Trade Center in New York City. That was February 26th. And as you all know, in 2001, they did it again, but with airplanes. And they were successful. And finally, in February, we have Waco, Texas. The Branch Davidians and the FBI, or no, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms attempt to serve a warrant, and all hell breaks loose, and a bunch of people died. Waco, Texas, back in 1993. So let's ask someone else what they were up to in '93. Chris, VA3WPG, are you still there?
Yeah, still listening. VA3WPG. Don't remember what I was doing back then.
Okay, very good. Well, that reminds me of the 80s. I don't remember the 80s much. But anyways, okay, Chris, thanks anyways. Let's try Wade. VA3, November, Charlie Alpha. Wade, do you remember 1993?
VA3C. There's a VA3NC. Hey, wow, 93. Yeah, I was at Mac in my 3rd year, actually, at that point in time, working there part-time and also doing a engineering physics degree that I never actually went back and finished. I should really do that. But anyways, yeah, engineering physics. I don't really recommend it. I still have bad memories after 30 years, but I should maybe go finish it. I'm about halfway through. Yeah, so I was living here in Hamilton. I guess at that time I was living on King Street, 750 King Street, in a student house with a few other folks. It was one of those houses that was on the West Hill side, just over the overpass bridge. Yeah, so within walking distance of the university, working in the computer labs at nights and weekends, and doing silly student stuff other times. So, yeah, I guess that's what I was doing in '93. Yeah, it was a long time ago.
At least you didn't tell me that you were still in high school. Okay, Wade, well, thanks for sharing. geez, if I remember correctly, I was living in a bachelor apartment on Maplewood Avenue here near Sherman Avenue, on the top floor of a house with no air conditioning. And I was working the night shift at the hotel and had to sleep during the day. Man, was it hot up there. Uh, Third floor of a house, no air conditioning, and you can well imagine how the summers were. Okay, Wade, thank you so much. Let's see if Chris is still listening. VE3RWJ. You have anything from 93 there you can share with us? All right, well, let's ask everybody on YouTube if they have something they can talk about from 1993. By all means, type it into the chat, and I'll respond in a minute. And let's see who else we got here. Rick. Oh, Rick is from the Stone Age, I believe, so he might have a few stories. VE3 Bravo Kilowatt, 1993. Rick.
Well, yeah, well, you know what, Chuck? I don't remember specifically, but it's quite possible I was in working on the switch of the Royal Canal because I was doing that kind of thing when I was working. So I did go on the Royal Canal quite often, but I worked strictly days, so I probably didn't bump into you in there. But other than that, I can't really remember. People were saying how long they've been a ham radio operator. Yeah, I got my ticket in 1985, and so there you go. There I date myself. But there was other guys that were in our club that got their ticket when they were 15 years old, and they got it in the 60s. So they were there longer than me. But 1993, don't really remember, Chuck. All I know is I was working in Hamilton mostly, and Royal Canal was one of my stops there. Over.
All right. Well, I think I'd remember you there, Rick. I knew quite a few people there, but maybe it was after I left, or maybe it was before I worked there. But the Royal Canal Hotel is kind of like E.D. Smith. Either you worked there at one time for a short period, or you have a family member that worked there. I mean, every time I mentioned either the Royal Canal Hotel or E.D. Smith, they'll tell me, oh, my aunt used to pick cherries there and or whatnot, and tomatoes and jam, make jam. So those two places are. Someone always knows someone who's worked at either of those places.
Oh yeah, Roger. Well, E.D. Smith's up another one of my stops there. Over.
There you go. All right, Rick. Well, thanks for sharing that. I'm going to keep going down the list here. It is 9:08 p.m. And this is the 31-year anniversary of the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. Is there anyone listening that would like to check in? Please come now. Anyone with a valid license wishing to check into the net, please come now.
Break.
I hear a break. Go ahead.
Yeah, Chuck. BA3AXJ. 1963. I heard you, but I was out of the room. What did I do in 63?
No.
Now that I have to think about. If I remember anything, I will surely let you know. Back to you.
Oh, goodness gracious, Rick. We're talking about 1993, not the last year of the baby boomers. 31 years ago is when the net started. It started in 1993, and I just thought I'd touch base with everyone to see if they have anything they remember of 93, what they were doing.
93. Oh, I spent a lot of time up at the trailer park. Other than that, I was the manager of the Pioneer gas station there on Woodward and Rennie, and I had to get up every morning and drive in from Dunville back and forth.
Okay. Very good. Very good. All right then, Rick. Well, thanks for sharing that. If you have anything else later, just break in. And so let's go to Albert. I'm pretty sure he wasn't in high school. He might have been working in construction back in '93. Let's ask him. VA3, Bravo Tango.
Yep. I've been working in construction for a while there. I actually joined the union back in '87. So yeah, I was working. I got married in '94. So yeah, pretty much working there, Chuck.
And you were still in the dating phase. Remember that?
Oh yeah. Like I said, I got married in '94, so '93, I was working, putting money away. Well, spending it too.
All right, very good. Thanks for sharing, Al. Albert. So let's see if Mac. I know Mac's an old codger like me. VA3 IMW 1993.
1993, my industrial career was at its peak. I was working at a die casting firm in Burlington, Ontario. 1993, I think they blessed me with the title of a quality manager, and I continued on in that role for another 7 years before quality was in the rearview mirror, and I moved to engineering. But working for the weekend. That's what I was doing.
All right, at the peak of your career there, and very good. And look at you now. we won't go further on that. Thanks for sharing, Mac. How about Chris? VE3RWJ, if you're listening there, do you have anything to share from 1993? Don't tell me you were in high school. All right, well, let's try Debbie. Victor Alpha 3, Oscar Yankee Lima.
Yeah, 1993. I was living in Welland with my brother, and I was working for a land surveying firm in Dunville, I believe. And I was driving back and forth. It was a nice drive, except for in the winter. And since I was newly ham licensed a couple years earlier, I was doing a lot of ham radio and CB radio stuff.
Oh, very good, very good. So you had a job that you got to travel a little bit there every once in a while. So that's good. You see, that's the same thing with me. I had to sow my wild oats, as they say. That's why I traveled with the carnival for a decade during the '80s. Got that all out of my system. Was a playboy and all that. And then, of course, in 1990 is when I stopped doing that and settled in Hamilton. Well, I already was in Hamilton, but only temporary. But decided to lay roots, and the rest is history there. So thanks for sharing, Debbie. Much appreciated. Let's try Marty. VE3 Quebec Echo Echo. Where were you in 1993 there, Marty?
Oh, I was here in Hamilton in 1993, and that was the year that I became an amateur radio operator. There was a blind gentleman, Stanley Ballerbrook. He called me up one day and said, "Hey, you're interested in amateur radio? There's a course starting at the Red Cross building. Why don't you take it?" And so I did. And 10 weeks later, I got my my ham radio qualification and 5 words a minute along with it. So that was a memorable year for me. Over.
Oh, very good, very good. So that's the year you got your ticket. I wonder what year John got his JSU there, but regardless, he was in Dundas and just starting out the AREG net there, and a lot. Thankfully tonight, a lot of you guys, you originals from the AREG, have checked in tonight there. Same thing with Don EIR. You heard him check in, right?
Yep, I was surprised to hear Don, and if Don's still listening, we don't remember the last time he was up at the Canadian Warplane Heritage Museum, but we're still going strong up there, Don, if you're still listening. Back to net.
All right, well, let's try Don. Victor Echo 3, Echo India Romeo, EIR. Are you there, Don? Well, nothing heard. Well, thanks for sharing that, Marty. Much appreciated. Let's go to Larry, last on my list, VE3LBI. He's another one from the Stone Age almost. 1993. Larry, what do you remember?
1993. Working someplace. I'm trying to think where I was. I might have been in an international harvester at the time. Don't remember now 100%. Or either international harvester or Robinson's department stores. Have been married for a few years. I know that.
Oh, yeah, right on. See, I could have gotten married at a young age, but thankfully I didn't. Otherwise, it probably wouldn't have worked out. Like I mentioned, I was too interested in traveling and dating different women. So I got that out of my system first instead of the other way around. Some guys get married at a young age, find out that they've missed out on, dating other women, and the next thing you know, they're getting divorced. Anyhow, Larry, thanks so much for sharing. And I guess we'll wrap up the 1993 nostalgia and see who else is out there that would like to join us and say hello on the 31-year anniversary of the AREG net. This is VA3CJZ.
Victor Echo 3, Charlie Sierra Yankee.
Victor Echo 3, Charlie Sierra Yankee. Paul, good evening, sir. How have you been?
Oh, we're managing to get by here. Everything is pretty good. I understand it's the 31st anniversary, so I thought, I got to make an effort this time, right? and have a check-in there. So there you go. And it looks like you're doing pretty good tonight. Back to you, Chuck.
Absolutely there, Paul. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I do remember you were here last year for our 30-year anniversary. I forget the exact date, but nonetheless, thank you so much for checking in. You're number 20 tonight on my list, so very good. And you're giving me full strength signal over here, and nice clean audio.
Well, yeah, you're super strong. I mean, we're close. So, you're just super strong here all the time, and your audio is just fine. You've turned it down just a little bit. It is sounded really mellow and smooth now, which is good. So, yeah, hey, listen, I don't want to hold it up or anything. Let's see if you can hit 30 tonight, maybe. So I'll let you carry on, Chuck.
Okay, very good, Paul. Thank you so much again. Means a lot that you checked in. And so I'm going back to what Arpad said on YouTube in reference to Rick, VA3AXJ, thought that I asked him about 1963. I doubt too many of us remember 1963. Arpad wrote down that in 1963, my mother was busy with my father. I was born in 1964. So there you go. That's funny, Arpad. Thanks for that. Much appreciated. All right, so let's see who else is out there that would like to check in with us here on the 31-year anniversary of the amateur radio exchange group Simplex Net. Please come now.
VE3GBD.
All right, I heard two stations there. A faint check in from VA3DGA. I do believe that's Dave. Come on in, Dave.
Chuck, I hear you loud and clear. I'm operating from a handheld. I can't quite reach my radio station yet. Just walked in from work and got business to take care of. But we're keen to hear about this net tonight. Anyway, just been to the pot. I'd like to get back to the proper radio. Look forward to chatting with you shortly. And thank you for letting me check in on the number 31. Thank you, good sir, with the 31 years. Thank you.
Okay, Dave, very good, sir. I copied that, no problem. On the you're on the portable there. I believe you just got in from work at home, and so I think I got you around S5, and so I do appreciate you checking in, sir. I know how when you walk in the front door, you've got a few things on the go. So thanks for taking the time out, sir. I do appreciate it. VA3 Delta Golf Alpha. Dave's gone amateur. So let's go to George now. VE3 Golf Bravo Delta. George, come on in.
Man, not much to report there, Chuck. Was doing, busy doing, household stuff, and keyed up and or turned the radio on, heard you, and I thought, oh yeah, it's Wednesday. I kept thinking it was Tuesday, but I don't know days very good anymore. Anyway, I just wanted to say hello to everybody on net and keep it up, brother. Keep it up.
All right, George. Hey, listen, this net started in 1993. Do you remember what you were up to in 1993?
93, I was working at Dominion Castings, I believe.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if you knew a guy named Bernie. I wonder if he was still, yeah, he was still around. Bernie Duquette, a Frenchman.
Possible. I've met a lot of people in there. I worked in the core room, making cores. So it was a big place at that time. Yeah, it was big.
Okay, very good then. All right, George. Well, thanks for your check-in and for sharing that with us. And so, do you have anything else to share? So you were working at Dominion Castings. Anything else?
No, somebody keeps keying up here, but no. Other than that, no. Before that, it was Ream Canada. I worked at Ream Canada. I started there in like 86, something like that.
Oh, yeah, very good. All right, George. Well, thanks for sharing that. And I did notice on the YouTube stream that we got another check-in. Our old friend from Arkansas, Michael, KI5 Sierra Papa Alpha. Good evening, Michael, and thanks for joining us. This is the 31-year anniversary of the AREG, and well, it's only been a little over 6 years for me taking over, but nonetheless, that's how long the net's been going on here. And thank you so much for joining us from from Arkansas. I hope everything is going well with you. And how's the weather where you are? We're looking at, what is it, about 67 degrees at the moment over here, 67 Fahrenheit or 19 Celsius. I also want to mention Bill has shared with us what he was doing in 1993. Bill, VE3IUK. He was working tech support for a law firm in Toronto. Excellent. All right. So with that, let's see who else is out there would like to join us here on the 31-year anniversary of the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. My call is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu. And my name is Chuck, and I'm here in East Hamilton. Anyone, anywhere, please come now.
Recheck.
All right, we got a recheck. Go ahead there, Rick.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, and I used to talk to John when he was in Dundas as well. And in 1993, I used V3OZY, my other call, my original call, and I've been a ham for 8 years. So, in 1990, we wrote a contest site for that. No, I'm wrong. That was year 2000. Okay. Anyway, I thought I'd mention that I talked to John on this net here, and when he lived in Dundas, but I don't remember what year it was.
Yeah, well, he started the net in 93. So, you've had your license for quite a while there, Rick. So tell me, back when you got your license, were you using a telegraph key to communicate, or did they have voice back then? Just kidding.
Yeah, we had to do CW 10 words a minute to get your license, and you weren't allowed a phone until you had been licensed for 6 months. And then you could go get your 10 meter, 160 meter endorsement. And then after a year, you could go for your advance. That's what it was back in 1985. But some of my friends there that got their license before that, they had to write it and do their CW all the same sitting. Otherwise, they didn't get it.
And then they invented the wheel.
Oh, that's funny, Mac. Yeah, I know. We're just teasing you, Rick. We're all gonna, well, hopefully, we're gonna reach your age. The wheel. Yeah, I think it's been a little a little while before when the wheel was invented there, Mac. But we all get the joke. Anyhow, Rick, thanks for sharing that. Anything else?
No, but I remember when I was in high school, I think it was 1962. So somebody mentioned 63, but I remember seeing those guys with the great big long whips and the raccoon tails on their whips back in the CB days. When it really started, those guys were really nerds, I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, like I said there, I was wishing, now that I do have my license, I'm wishing that I would have gotten it a lot sooner. It's way better than CB. That's like comparing to when they invented the wheel to comparison to modern vehicles. So way better.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, carry on. I just thought I'd mention that about talking to John in Dundas. And Marty, I think Marty came out and joined our contest group. We started a contest group out at that site that we had in 1989. So Anyway, Marty was more than welcome when he got his ticket there.
Okay, very good, very good. All right, well then we'll do one more call out, and I think we got time to squeeze a little bit of on this day. So let's see who else is there would like to join us and check into our net. This is VA3CJZ.
Recheck VA3DGA.
And we have a recheck, VA3 Delta Golf Alpha. Dave, come on back.
Thanks, Chuck. 31 years ago, right about now, I was 3 months away from a very epic new journey in my life. I was ramping up to emigrate to Canada. So this Christmas marks 31 years in the country for me with the same company. And what a great opportunity it has been to build a life for myself here in Canada. I'm very, very fortunate indeed. And I get to chat with you guys as well. Double bonus. VE3CJZ, VA3DGA. Back to you, Mr. Net Control.
All right, so you, excuse me, you came here on because of work. Is that right?
Yes and no.
Oh, believe it or not, I think I'm going to have to ask for a relay. That last transmission you dropped right down from 9+ to almost nothing there. Mac, are you there?
Stand by. All right, QSL. Dave, you have such a wonderful description of the process. Certainly glad to have some additional English tool and die makers that emigrated to Canada. We certainly need it, but back in those days. So what Charles was indicating was that your signal had dropped down significantly during your transmission, but I've got 100% of that. So you've emigrated to Canada, and because tool and die makers back in that era were so desperately needed over here to support our businesses, that obviously chalked up some points for you. And like I say, glad to have you aboard here in Canada. Anyways, Charles, I'm pretty sure it wasn't Dave's signal that was compromised. Perhaps a little QRM. You seem to have some nasty neighbors that are doing some things. If you need any other information from Dave, feel free to let me know.
Okay, very good then. Well, congratulations, Dave, on your 31 years coming up. And it's a pleasure to have you with us in Hamilton as a ham as well. And it's always a pleasure to chat with you, Dave. So I do wish you a great 31-year anniversary when it comes up. And thanks again for sharing with us.
Fine business and many thanks. And yeah, I've got the little handheld on the go here. That's for sure is far from ideal on the Simplex, but it's doing the job. So between yourself and the relays, thank you very much. VA3DGA back to net control. Thank you.
Wow. Well, if that's a handheld from Dundas, that's very good. Thanks, Dave. Do appreciate it, sir. And with that, let's see if there are any other check-ins for this week's AREG net. This is VA3CJZ. Please come now.
AXJ.
AXJ. Go ahead, Rick.
I've been listening. You guys are telling me the wheels are round now? Wonder why my truck's running funny. Gonna have to check that out.
Flintstones. Welcome to the Flintstones.
A little humor. Doesn't kill nobody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Rick, thanks for that. And so it looks like the check-ins have slowed down. We got time to squeak in a little bit of on this day. And we are at week 185 that I have been doing on this day. That's over 3 years. And so we start with famous birthdays on September 11th. And we'll start with a NFL Hall of Fame player, Tom Landry. He was born on this day in 1924. He passed away in 2000, but he was an American NFL player between 1949 and 1955 with the New York Giants. And he was also a coach for the Dallas Cowboys from 1960 to 1988. And he was born in Mission, Texas. All right, who remembers the song Louie Louie? Louie Louie Louie. Jack Eli is the one who sang that song. He was born on this day, 1943, with a band called the Kingsmen. And he passed away in 2015. He's from Portland, Oregon. Sticking with music, we've got Mickey Hart, born also in 1943. His real last name is Hartman. Mickey Hartman is an American drummer and percussionist with the Grateful Dead from 67 to 71. And again from, oh no, that's for another band, I think, Planet Drum. Anyhow, he was born in Brooklyn, New York. Mickey Hart, still around. Sticking with music, in 1953, Tommy Shaw was born. He's also an American rock guitarist and singer with the band Styx. He's the frontman. You might remember a song called Come Sail Away. He was born in Montgomery, Alabama. Next, we got Paul Heyman from the WWE, born in 1965. Celebrating a birthday today, Paul Heyman is an American entertainment producer and wrestling manager. The man everyone loves to hate. He was born in Yonkers, New York. And then finally, celebrating his 57th birthday today is Harry Connick Jr. Born in 1967, he's an American pop and jazz singer, pianist, and actor, TV personality on American Idol. He's everywhere. Born in New Orleans, Louisiana. And of course, he's the son of Harry Connick. Now we move on to famous deaths on September 11th. My first person is Billy Bishop. Died in 1956. He was a Canadian First World War flying ace with 72 kills, and he dies at the age of 62. Nikita Khrushchev died in 1971 of a heart attack at the age of 77. He was the first secretary of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union between 1953 and 64. All right. Who watched Bonanza? Everyone watched Bonanza, right? Well, Ben Cartwright, also known as Lorne Greene, passed away in 1987. He died of pneumonia following heart surgery at the age of 72. Next, we've got Todd Beamer. Died on this day, September 11 in 2001. and this relates to the airplanes that crashed. American passenger and hero on United Airlines Flight 93 dies at the age of 32 in a plane crash trying to stop the 9/11 terrorists by crashing the plane, I do believe. Another hero also passing away on the same day, Tom Burnett, American businessman and passenger aboard Flight United 93. It says here, attempted to crash the plane into a Washington monument. He was 38. And next we have Johnny Unitas, passed away in 2002. He was born in 1933, so he was 69 when he died, and he is or was an American NFL quarterback for the Baltimore Colts, the San Diego Chargers, and of course he's a legend, and dies of a heart attack in 2002. Next year in 2003, John Ritter, American actor and comedian from Three's Company and 8 Simple Rules, dies of an aortic dissection at the age of 54. Finally, my last entry here is David Mann. He passed away in 2004. If you've ever seen a magazine called Easy Riders, you would have seen his artwork. He did all the centerfold artistry and graphic artist. He was a graphic artist for that magazine, and he was 64. So that's it for people that passed away on this day. Do we have anyone listening that would like to check into our net? Please come now. This is VA3CJZ. Okay, let's go to some events. I'll move along quickly here. And we'll go to the year 1853. We have the very first electric telegraph being used at a place called a Merchants Exchange in San Francisco, and a telegraph, a message was sent to Point Lobos, California. Now, if you think that electric vehicles are new, you would be mistaken. In the early 1900s, they had electric cars. They also had electric bus line. Here we have, in 1910, we have the first commercially successful electric bus line opening in Hollywood, California. Then in 1916, we have the first true self-service supermarket. It was a person by the name of Clarence Saunders Piggly Wiggly. Now, Piggly Wiggly is stapled in the United States as a store. So back in 1916 is when Piggly Wiggly first opened up in Memphis, Tennessee. And I think what they meant by self-service supermarket, I think before 1916, you would walk into a store and you would tell the clerk behind what you needed, and he would get it for you. So that's what they mean by self-service supermarket. Also in 1916, we have the Quebec Bridge's central span collapsing during reconstruction, killing 11 men. So Quebec's main bridge, the center span collapsed, and 11 people died. In 1940, Buckingham Palace is damaged by German bombs. That happened on this day, September 11th. The Queen was not at the palace at the time. And then in 1941, we've got the construction of the Pentagon beginning in Arlington County, Virginia, and it was completed in 2 years, or less than 2 years, because a year and a half, because it was completed in January of 1943. All right, 1945, physician Willem J. Kalf performs the first successful kidney dialysis using his artificial kidney machine in the Netherlands back in 1945. First kidney dialysis. All right, how about a car-to-car telephone conversation happened on this day in 1946. The very first mobile long-distance car-to-car telephone conversation. In 1950, an episode from the TV series Dick Tracy sparks an uproar over violent content. Who remembers Dick Tracy? And in 1951, Florence Chadwick becomes the first woman to swim the English Channel from England to France. It took her 16 hours and 19 minutes. All right, little baseball. 1956, New York Yankees Yogi Berra ties a career record for home runs, 236 by a catcher. Yogi Berra was a catcher. In 1959, U.S. Congress passes a bill authorizing food stamps for poor Americans. I do believe that was used instead of giving them money, which they knew they wouldn't spend on food, they would just give them what they needed in their welfare checks, and food stamps were given to buy food. Who remembers that movie with Mel Gibson, the Vietnam movie there, where he's the first person to bring troops into a hot zone using helicopters? Well, in 1965, we have the 1st Cavalry Division. Yeah, it was about, because that's what he was in, the cavalry. The 1st Cavalry Division of the United States Army arrives in Vietnam on this day, 1965. So there you go. In 1966, the Rolling Stones' 4th appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show, and they performed 3 songs, including Paint It Black, back in 1966. And then we have Carol Burnett Show in 1967. The Carol Burnett Show premieres on CBS TV. Hendrix' last interview, 1970. American rock guitar legend Jimi Hendrix gives what becomes his final interview with the NME. That must be a British thing. That was in England. And in 1970, Ford Motor Company introduces its first North American subcompact model. They call it the Pinto. And then the Pinto would be discontinued shortly thereafter because anyone who would ram the back end of the Pinto would make it explode. The gas tank would blow up. All right, video games. In 1977, we have the Atari 2600, originally known as the Atari Video Computer System, or the Atari VCS. The Atari 2600 is released in North America, revolutionizing the video game industry. And I already mentioned the Twin Towers in New York City. Let's see. Oh, yeah. In 2007, Russia tests the largest conventional weapon ever, the father of all bombs, that they called it. I do believe that one was called also the Tsar Bomba. All right. Well, if you feel you don't make enough money, this will make you even more depressed. In 2015, Sofia Vergara from the show Modern Family and Kaylee Cuoco from The Big Bang Theory are named the highest earning TV actresses with $28.5 million in 1 year. And then in 2017, Hurricane Irma leaves 7 million U.S. homes without power in Florida and Georgia. In 2019, on this day, water is detected for the first time on a planet outside our solar system on an exoplanet called K2 18b. It is 110 light years away. Okay, two more. Stolen Van Gogh is returned. In 2023, last year on this day, a stolen Vincent van Gogh painting called The Parsonage Garden at Noonan in Spring, which was it was painted in 1884, is returned in an IKEA bag to an art detective. They couldn't just say bag, they had to say IKEA bag here, but nonetheless, Van Gogh was returned last year. And finally, in 2023, the United States sets a record for number of 23 weather disasters in 1 year, costing more than $1 billion in less than 9 months. Well, I hope you liked On This Day in History. I was able to squeeze that in there. And do you have any questions, comments, or anyone who would like to check into our net? Please come now. This is VA3CJZ.
Victor Alpha 3, November Foxtrot Golf.
Oh, one of the last minute guys, eh? VA3 NFG. Just get home from work there, Steve?
No, sir. I was over at Mark's place there. I'm not sure if he's logged in on YouTube. Had his first Zoom lesson with the Burlington Amateur Radio Club to achieve his basic with honors at a minimum, and then some if he gets it. You never know. He could score over 90.
Yep, that's right. We mentioned that earlier. If you would have been here earlier, we did mention tonight was the first night of the training for the amateur radio license with the Burlington Amateur Radio Club. So good luck to Mark, and thanks for checking in, Steve. You are, let's see now, number 24. Not bad for our 31-year anniversary of the AREG. 31, I don't know if I said 21, but 31 years ago, around this time, the AREG started. Over to you, Steve.
Oh, yeah, that's good. I forgot that this Wednesday was the 31st year anniversary. Very good. I have nothing else to add there, Chuck. I do have an early shift tomorrow. However, I am going to bed after this net at 10 o'clock. But thanks for taking my check-in. And 24, that's pretty good.
31.
Yeah, you never know. You may get a couple more yet. Anyhow, thanks again for doing the net, Chuck.
25
As we'll tune in next Wednesday. This is VA3 NFG, and we're located Central Mountain, Hamilton. Back over to you.
All right, there, Steve. I don't know if you're on your portable. I think so, because you're not full strength. You are a good 10, 15 over S9 here on the portable. So thanks for checking in on this 31-year anniversary of the AREG, and I do appreciate it, Steve. Have a good night, good night's rest, and a good day tomorrow. Okay, so let's start the 7-3 round and start with Rick, downtown Rick, VA3 AXJ. Last call there, Rick.
Yeah, good net there, Chuck. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, and I'm hoping I can get on this week too. But it seems to be hit and miss lately. But anyhow, yeah, I enjoy it. And now I know that the wheels are round. I'm going to buy some. Back to you, 7-3 VA3XJ. We're going to be QRT.
All right there, Rick. Thanks for being part of our net and throwing in a little bit of comedy in there for us. Thanks again. All right, let's go to Chris, VA3WPG.
Yeah, VA3 WPG, just thinking back there, 93 puts me at 12, so grade 7 or something like that. So, yeah, then I didn't get my license until I was 16. So, other than that, just throwing that quick thing in there. Other than that, everyone have a good night. 73, VA3 WPG. I'm probably going to be having an early-ish one tonight myself anyway, so catch you at the next nut. VA3 WPG.
All right, Chris. Well, thanks for sharing that with us. So you're the only one so far that was in high school, or actually, no, still probably a senior in elementary school. Very good then. Thanks. All right. Well, let's go to Wade out in Dundas, Victor Alpha 3, November Charlie Alpha.
Great net as always, especially on this auspicious anniversary there. I'm using, I'll bring out all the $10 words tonight. Here's to another 31. Chuck, thanks so much for hosting it and running the festivities for us. I'll say 7-3 and pass it back to you, VA3NCA. Back to you.
Okay, Wade, thanks for being part of it, and you have a great rest of the evening. Okay, let's go to, let's see if Chris is still around, VE3RWJ, last round. All right, before I go on, I'd like to thank everyone who checked into the YouTube stream, and that would include Wade, who was just talking, and we also had Chris, VE3RWJ, and we had Wayne B from Mississauga, VA3 Fox Mike Bravo, and then we had Bill, VE3IUK. Thank you so much. And we had Sean, or Max Videodrome, VE3FNI. Thank you so much. Excuse me for checking in. And Mike from Arkansas, KI5 Sierra Papa Alpha. Thank you again from Arkansas. And then RPAD, which RPAD will be keying up on 3.650 in a couple of minutes. And thank you so much for checking in with us, RPAD. Okay, let's see who's next on my list here. That's Mac, VA3. Oh, no, it's Albert, VA3 Bravo Tango. Albert gets up early for work. He's a hard-working man, so he's gone to bed. He gets up real early. Let's go to Mac, VA3 IMW.
Well, Chuck, it was certainly a pleasure to share the 31st anniversary with you and everybody else on net. And we can't overshadow that celebration with anything else. So I'll just leave it at that. Looking forward to check-ins tomorrow night on the Lake Ontario Radio Club Net Simplex frequency 446.125 at 7 p.m. Thanks for your support, and 7-3.
Okay, Mac, thanks for mentioning that. Saves me from doing it. And thank you once again, Mac, for all your help and your contribution to the amateur radio hobby and this net, a great supporter. And so let's go and see if Huey's still listening. VE3 DJZ. Okay, let's go to Deborah. VA3OYL.
Good net, Chuck. It was nice to hear everyone on here this evening. You're doing a great job as always, Chuck. And I'll say 7-3 to all. VA3OYL.
Thanks, Deb. Always a pleasure. You have a great rest of the week, and maybe we'll hear you down the log on the two big contests this weekend, the Worked All Europe and the VHF contest. So good luck, and thanks again. I think Tomash has gone to bed, though. VE3 Charlie Echo Uniform. How about Marty? VE3 Quebec Echo Echo. Don, VE3 EIR.
Yeah, Chuck, I heard Marty on there asking about me going to the museum. I'll surprise him someday, and I'll go up to the Warplane Museum. He's up there on Thursday, so I'll make it up there. A good net, congratulations, VE3EIR.
All right, Don, and we'll also pass your regards on to John when we talk to him next time. Thanks again for joining us on our 31-year anniversary. I do appreciate it. So let's go to Larry now, VE3LBI. Last call, Larry.
Yep, been listening along since we got here at 9. Good net there, Chuck. All right, all the best. 7-3, everybody. Have a good evening. VE3LBI.
Very good, Larry. Thank you. Let's see if Paul is still here, VE3CSY. How about Dave, VA3DGA?
Hello, Chuck. Yep, I'm back on my base station.
There he is.
The cord doesn't quite reach the gracious white throne. And I really wanted to get in on the net there. So, hey, listen, if you're speaking with John JSU, please do pass on my kindest regards and best wishes to him. And that would be awesome. And everyone else in net, it was lovely to hear those names and call signs and obey your leader. And Paul CSY, goodness gracious, there's a whole bunch of names I haven't heard in a wee while. Anyway, 7-3, thank you for the opportunity to check in and for doing an outstanding job as always, Chuck. V3CJZ, VA3DGA. Back to you, sir.
All right, very good there, Dave. You got a nice copy on you now. Goodness, I'm losing my voice. So thanks again, Dave, for being part of this great celebration and for all you do in the amateur radio hobby as well. Thanks again. And so last on my list is George, VE3GBD. George, are you there?
Still here. Just rounding up the rest of the garbage, but you know me. Last minute, don't want to do it.
Yes, George, I know. Well, I guess we got to wait for the next Monday holiday before we can skip one day the regular garbage night there. So it's garbage night for East End Hamilton and maybe somewhere else. But thanks for being part of this net there tonight, George. I do appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for doing it. 31 years, man. That's a long time.
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank everyone who joined us tonight, whether on the YouTube stream or on the radio. Thank you all so much for making this such a successful 31-year anniversary of the AREG Simplex Net. I look forward to 32 next year coming up. And before I close the net, are there any last-minute check-ins for this week's AREG Net? Please come now.
B3BK, did I miss the 73 round?
Oh, I think I missed calling your call there, your Rick. I don't know how that happened, but I'm sorry. So yes, VE3 Bravo Kilowatt. Last call, Rick. Go ahead.
31st and 73 to everybody on board, and good job, Chuck. And just to let you know, ARPAD is on there right now. I'm listening to him, so I thought maybe I missed it there. Anyway, AirPad's on 3650, but the signals aren't very strong.
Yeah, like last night. I'll have to check there, but I do have to close this net, take a short break, and then I'll go and listen in and see if I can hear them. Thanks for sharing that, Rick, and for being part of our net whenever you can. I do appreciate it, Rick. We'll have to do a meet and greet there. But this Sunday is the meet and greet at Dundurn Castle in the morning. So if anyone is able to stop in and say hello, please do. And so one more any last minute call outs, check-ins, sorry. Any last minute check-ins for this week's AREGNet, please come now. All right. Well, that's it then. That's a wrap. I'd like to say thanks to everyone. It's been a pleasure hosting this net for the time that I have been doing it. And I look forward to continuing it along for as long as I can. Thanks again. Enjoy the rest of the week and have fun DXing and POTA hunting and activating. Until then, until next week, we'll be here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Take care, one and all. 7-3. This is VA3 CJZ.